Let's talk to somebody from Cleveland right now. She is a wonderful beat writer, covers the Cleveland Browns.
And Mary Kay has the best house that we've ever had on Skype, so I want to see what room she's in today.
Oh, she's not in a room. Well, it's a really big room.
Wow.
Hi, Mary Kay. Mary Kay, by the way, writes for the Cleveland Plain Dealer.
That's a heck of a rec room you got there, Mary Kay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is my house.
Nice.
Just kidding.
No, we know that. Mary Kay, how probable is it in your mind that the Broncos go into Cleveland, as poorly as they've been playing offensively, and beat the Cleveland Browns?
Well, you know what? I do think that there's a very good chance that the Broncos can come in here and win, in part because the Browns' defense has not been playing well at all. So I think Peyton Manning should be able to find some holes in this defense. They're a little bit vulnerable to a short dump over the middle that back can take for a long gain. There's all different kinds of things that he should be able to find.
I want to know this, is the Browns have only been looking for a quarterback for 147 years, or whenever the last time Bernie Kosar played.
Otto Graham retired.
Yeah, Otto Graham retired. Who the heck knew it was Josh McCown was the answer? And is he the answer? And explain to me how he did what he did last week.
Well, you know what? Josh is playing like the Josh McCown that was in Chicago in 2013. He threw 13 touchdown passes against only one interception that year. He kind of put his whole game together, and that's what we're seeing here in Cleveland. And he's doing it without a lot of talent around him. He's made a superstar out of Gary Barnidge. Did you guys see the thigh master catch?
Yes.
It's been really it's been amazing to see those guys connect. So Josh is lights out right now, and you know what? He really plays with a reckless abandon. He's got nothing to lose, and it's actually really been fun to watch.
And the Cleveland Browns have put together used a lot of their draft choices on the offensive line. We keep hearing from teams throughout the league, Mary Kay, that their offensive lines suck. But is Cleveland's really a very good offensive line? Did they do it the right way? Did they go out and get the right people? I mean, we know about Joe Thomas. They got one of the greatest of all time.
Well, yes. You know what? It really does help. And that's one of the reasons that Josh McCown came to the Cleveland Browns, because of the offensive line. You're talking about Pro Bowlers in the center, Mack, and then you've got Joe Thomas. And then Joel Bitonio, I think he'll be in the Pro Bowl, before too long, the left guard. So they are doing it right with the offensive line. It's helped Josh tremendously. He is getting fat. They can get to him. There's no question about that. This is going to be a big challenge for them this week. But for the most part, it's a good offensive line.
The Browns have not beaten the Broncos since you were alive, or something close to that. It's been a quarter of a century. Do you believe that the drive, which was before your time covering the team, really was the end, like the decline of the Roman Empire, that after that Cleveland never got to the Super Bowl, lost its team to another city, came back, hasn't been any good? Was that like a defining moment in the history of the franchise, that after that nothing good has ever happened?
You know what? I think more so than anything, it was, the team actually, leaving and moving town. I think that's the reason why they have to be successful. I mean, if you look from the time they have come back in '99 to now, they just haven't been able to put it together. They've had no consistency. There's just been turnover after turnover in regimes, even owners. And I think it's more so that than anything.
Do you think that's at least helped? We talked about legacy of Steve Spurrier. Do you think that's helped a former owner of the Browns, that be careful what you wish for, that they all hated an owner that went to Baltimore, but yet he actually gave them the only consistency and the only owner that actually was successful, because the crappy owners you've had since there, including one that went to my school, just have not been good owners?
Well, you know what? Theoretically, you would think that that's how it would be viewed through that type of a prism, but that's not how it is. Art Modell is still public enemy #1 in Cleveland, and most Browns fans here will never look back on him very fondly after what happened here.
All right, Gary Kubiak wants to establish the running game, and my colleague Woody Paige here wants the Broncos run until they drop. What kind of run defense does Cleveland have, and should we expect the Broncos are able to run the ball effectively against the Browns?
Yes, the Browns have one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. They have been horrible all year long, and were ever going to try to establish the run or run the ball and pound it. This is the weekend. Now, there are other areas of concern. They are vulnerable against the pass. Joe Hayden has a concussion. He will not play in this game. Tayshaun Gibson, probably the biggest threat to pick off Peyton Manning, he might not play in this game. He's got an ankle injury. But the run defense is porous. And, I mean, you'll look up and see 44 yards. So, it's definitely a part.
You're a smart person. What they're referring to, Mary Kay, and you see me holding out my hands, is I said at the beginning of the game that I would even sacrifice this. The Broncos are going to win the division because the division is totally fallen apart. That if you are so committed to having a running game that would balance and try to help Peyton Manning through his declining years, that this is the place to do it, that just run. And thank you for backing me up that you're playing against a terrible run defense. But we have people here like Les Shapiro who goes, try it for 2 or 3 plays and then move on to throwing passes and interceptions and fumbling and turnovers.
Suggested.
That's what he
Start
says.
throwing interceptions.
Yeah, Mary Kay, you just made Woody's day by saying the Broncos can run it. So hats off to you.
Well, they should definitely be able to do that. I mean, these guys are giving up big chunk plays, not tackling well. They're searching for answers amongst their linebackers, shifting, all different kinds of playing time. So they're struggling back there. This is the week to do it.
Yeah, and plus it slows down. It slows down that Josh McCown machine that's going on there. Isn't it true you referred to him earlier, but the last 2 weeks, his combined totals are well over 500 yards, and he's had 2 consecutive weeks that are, when you put them together, is better than anybody else in the entire league.
That's right. I mean, there are people that think he's playing better than any quarterback in the NFL right now. I've seen that. 3 straight weeks, he's thrown for 1,154 yards. That breaks a Browns record set by Brian Sipe back in the day. So he is just playing lights out. He's the AFC Offensive Player of the Week right now, which is funny because when you have a matchup of Peyton Manning and Josh McCown, who do you think would be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week?
Mary Kay, I feel dirty even thinking about that. It just doesn't make sense to me. My world has been turned upside down.
Well, see, and you don't like Andy Dalton. He's having better.
I like him right now.
Everybody's talking about Andy Dalton for MVP. Josh McCown, MVP, should be chanting it at the stadium on Sunday, I think.
Well, I mean, the funny part about it is the last time Josh McCown played at Cleveland Browns Stadium, guess what he heard? Johnny.
Manziel.
So he had to from that, and his response is to go out and throw for 300 yards a week.
Yeah, so take that, Johnny football
It's
fans.
always great to have you on. Is your house clean today, though? I mean, do you clean
Did you
it
vacuum the turf behind you?
when you're not on? No, I want to know your
No, it's football season. My house is never clean for football.
Hey, great to talk to you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
Mary Kay.